Are you ready? Hi, I'm Jim Carrier, and Morgan Wolf is going to interview me about the oil crisis of 1973. In 1973, I was 19 years old, lived in Omaha, Nebraska, and as I recall, the oil shortage was driven by the OPEC cartel rationing oil that they would ship to the U.S. They were cutting it every month, less and less and less. And as they cut it less and less, I believe it was 5% a month, so they cut their exports to us by 50% in the first 5 months. The reason they were doing that was because they were angry over the way the war went between Israel and the Arab countries, because in the 1973 war, Israel went in and they were attacked by Egypt, Syria, and I believe one other country. They pushed Egypt clear back to across the Sinai to the edge of the Suez Canal and maybe beyond. They took the Golan Heights from Syria. They were clobbering them. And the U.S. supported Israel. So in retaliation for that support, they started cutting our oil. I remember the gas rationing in Omaha. We were buying, at one time, you could only buy 10 gallons of gas at a time. Carpooling was new then. People started carpooling. I had a carpool that I joined. I rode in a carpool to work, and I only lived about 10 miles from where I worked. That was when they started having businesses only heat to 68 degrees in the wintertime. That was new. Most places they heated to 70, somewhere between 70 and 75 degrees before that. That was a change. Gas before that was about 25, 30 cents a gallon, and it skyrocketed clear up to 50 or 75 cents a gallon. It was a long time ago. We would love those prices today. That was when President Nixon was in office, and he helped negotiate one of the big peace treaties in the Mideast at that time. I believe he sent Henry Kissinger off to do that for him. Might have been the occasion of the first Camp David summits. So, what else do you want to know?
Well, I'm interviewing you this because in Core Academy, until Christmas break, we're pretending that we don't have oil during class time. And so, like, we're going through an oil crisis, and I'm the mayor of my town.
Okay.
And our whole class broke into 8 colonies, and I'm the mayor of our town. It's called Refugio. And some people don't believe it is real. Do you believe that they really were running out of oil?
In 1973?
Yeah.
We weren't running out of...
79.
Okay, in 73 we were not running out of oil, but the shipments in were getting greatly reduced. We had a huge dependence on foreign oil, and it was becoming real. A lot of the things that they did were preventive measures because they didn't want to run out of oil. But no, we never did run out of oil. I think a lot of it was overblown because we were able to pump more oil in this country than we were, and the problem was the ramp-up time. It would have taken 2 or 3 years to produce the amount of oil we were bringing in. And did you know, in fact, at this time today, this country is exporting more oil than it uses?
We are?
Yes, we
America?
are. It's a well-kept secret. But yes, the refineries here ship out more than we use.
I didn't know that.
Not very many people do.
So you told us that you were, how old were you?
19.
19?
19.
So you and Lauren were married?
Yes, we got married very young, so yes, we were.
So you were 19, did you have a job?
I did. I worked for Northwestern Bell, one of the telephone companies. I was a lineman, hanging cable and putting up telephone poles.
So
Back
you were
in those
living in
days.
Omaha, right?
Yes, I was.
Okay. What was the most scary and memorable moment during the crisis for you?
Probably the most memorable was the aggravation of the gas lines when you had to wait in line to get gas.
Yeah, we watched a video about it. They were waiting in line for a long time.
The scary part was related to the job picture, because unemployment was going up at a pretty dramatic rate. I think it reached probably 7 or 8%, which is about a little bit less than we are today. But that was novel. That the unemployment rate before that, I think, was typically about 3.5, 4, or 5%. So inflation was high. That was the first time I personally had ever really experienced that. 10, 12, 15% inflation rate was huge. What that means is that what you paid $1 for at the beginning of the year, you paid $1.15 for later. There's a cumulative effect from the gas. Everything is delivered. All your plastic products are made from oil.
Everything, a lot of things that we depend on oil a lot.
Correct.
Did you have any scary moments, or was it really not that bad?
For me, it wasn't really scary. The only scary part was, okay, if you lose your job, if they lay you off, what do you do? And it was hard to find new jobs back then.
Yeah. Were a lot of people freaking out, or were they mostly calm? Or
Most people were pretty calm. I think more angry than anything else. I think that most people were feeling that we had done business with the Arabic countries for a long time. And there was, it was just wrong for them to treat us that way when they were the ones that started the conflict. They lost, and they were getting help from the Russians at that time. So the fact that our partners, the Israelis, were beating them so severely when they had all of the Russian arms and armaments and training was a big deal.
Sit. So did the rationing affect you a lot?
No.
Not really?
We only ran into that occasionally when we had to do the lines at the gas station or a few of those things. Other than that, it was like odd numbers with odd license plates, even numbers with even license plates, and they managed it pretty right. Yeah. They managed it pretty well. It kept the lines down because some people were panicking and they would want to fill up their car every day whether they needed to or not.
Yeah. And then, like, how long did it last, actually? Like, I don't know. Did it, or, I don't know.
I would say 6 or 8 months, as I recall. Started kind of in the spring and went through the winter. So probably about 8 months. By the following spring, it seems like it was all pretty well over.
Did everyone want, like, since we were at war with...
Well, we weren't at war.
like we were helping someone?
We were supplying munitions and weapons to the Israelis.
Mm-hmm.
They used our jets. They used our tanks. Their military was trained by the U.S.
Since we were helping them, did people want us not to help them so that way we wouldn't be at conflict with other countries?
Only a small number of people felt that way.
A lot of people thought that it was right what we were doing.
Yeah. The thing about it is the Arab countries attacked the Israelis. The Israelis did not attack them.
Yeah.
They're, self-defense, and even today, if they got the opportunity, they would eliminate them. It's not a war where they just go in and conquer your country and take it over. Listening to the rhetoric that comes out of their country, they would kill them all.
Yeah.
They've already been through that once. So, supporting Israel is the right thing to do now. It was then, and we'll manage.
What do you think life would be like now if we had an oil crisis?
Since we use such larger amounts, that's probably not the right way to say it, but we use less oil now, I believe, than we did then. I think we have more alternatives now. I think the biofuels and they would ramp that up, and even if they cut us off completely, I don't think it would be as dramatic as it was then.
In class, we're on today was day 4, but we're speeding it up a little bit, so we're on actually week 6 or something, I don't remember. Okay. But normally now it says that gas is about $5.89.
Okay, that would be bad.
Yeah, and we were just saying if you lived in rural or urban or different types of regions, if it would be harder.
It would be more difficult in rural areas because you're more dependent on transportation.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, believe it or not, drive farther than I do living in Omaha because we have more options for grocery stores and schools, and most kids are within walking distance in school.
It also said that we would be better off though because our farmers.
Yes.
And we have a lot of animals and stuff like that.
You're closer to the food supply, so if it got really, really desperate, yes, you would be better off in the rural area.
And there was also things saying that acts of violence would be going up a lot. I read an article and it was about a guy on a moped that just got attacked because he was on his way home from work and he was at a stoplight and 2 people came up and attacked him and stole his moped.
Those things are more likely to happen by far in the urban area, and they do happen.
Yeah.
People get robbed for their tennis shoes because they have a new pair of Air Jordans or something. It happens.
Yeah. So that's basically all that we have to do.
Well, it's been a pleasure being interviewed by you, young lady.
Thank you, Jim.